And welcome back. A recent Small Business Administration study shows federal regulations cost business in America, listen to this, more than $1.7 trillion. If you own a small business, those regulations cost you about $10,500 per employee per year. If you're thinking about adding an employee, it is important to know about the new regulations out there. We turn to Steve Cilley with Ataraxis. Stephen, thanks so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
First of all, for those folks out there who have not heard of Ataraxis, tell us about the company.
Ataraxis is a PEO. And so what we
Professional
employer organization. Okay. So what we do is we take care of all the employee services for a business. So all the HR, the benefits, work comp, unemployment, payroll, we do all that and take it over for a business so they don't have to worry about it.
Very good. Now, you're talking to these businesses. You're hearing some rumbles out there that they're looking to hire, add on some people. What are the new regulations that they need to be watching for?
One of the first ones that really needs to be watched for is on the I-9 form, the immigration form that everybody has to fill out and prove that they're able to work in the U.S. The fines for those range, if they're incorrect, range from $110 to $1,100 per occurrence.
Per occurrence?
Per occurrence. So if you've got 10 forms that are incorrect, they can fine you 10 times.
And if we start off at the base level, we talked about at the beginning of these regulations costing businesses $10,500 per employee, all of a sudden you've just jumped that up to $11,500 if you get it wrong on their I-9.
Yeah, and that's if you get the minor part of it wrong. And a lot of that could be you just didn't verify something correctly or it wasn't checked.
Okay, so the I-9 is the first thing that they need to focus on to be sure that it's absolutely correct.
That's the one that's got the biggest fines of all the employee paperwork. So when you hire somebody, you got to make sure that one's done right.
Okay, next on the list.
Wage and hour is a big deal right now.
Okay.
With wage and hour, exempt and non-exempt, and the difference being non-exempt means that you pay hourly. Exempt is that they can be salary. It used to be people would just go, well, I want you to be salary, so therefore you're salary. It doesn't work that way anymore. And so if you've got somebody labeled salary and their job description isn't good enough to justify that they're not a salary person, then they can go back and make a claim against that, and you would owe them any back overtime or anything else like that.
So it rests upon the job description.
It's a lot of it has to do with the job description and also then the tasks associated with that position that they do. So you can't put a clerical person, to use a very basic example, you can't make a clerical person a salaried position because it doesn't qualify under the wage and hour laws as an exempt position.
And these are federal laws that we're talking about.
These are all federal and state. There are state regulations along with this as well.
Okay.
And a lot of the state regulations tie to the federal regulations. Most of the time it's the state that will enforce these things, but at the same time they're all federal regulations.
All right, very good. Anything else on the radar screen for these small businesses?
Some ADA stuff coming up. It doesn't seem to be a real effective right now, in effect right now, but what you do have is with all the genetic testing coming up, they just changed the law a couple of years ago to include discrimination against genetics. And so as people start doing these genetic tests and finding out that they're predisposed to some disease, the employer finds out about that and discriminates against it, it's now protected, so you can't do that.
Almost sounds like science fiction coming to life. There was a movie back in the 80s or 90s called Gattaca.
I was just thinking about Gattaca. Yeah, exactly.
And it's really where we're going, but the laws have been set up to keep that from happening.
Right.
Is what I hear you saying. All right. Stephen Cilley, Ataraxis, the company. Folks want to get in touch with you, they can find you online?
They can find us online at Ataraxis PEO, Ataraxis PEO.com.
Okay.
They can give us a call at 906-2636. We're here in Boise.
Very good. Thank you so much.